Welcome back, everybody. Long time no see, and it's a very interesting title today. We're gonna have to observe, to review, and call it whatever you want. But before we just start, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, obviously. So today in our studio, we're gonna have the MotoGP 23. As always, as usual, each year the MotoGP comes with their franchise. So the developer and the publishers are the milestone from Italy, and the prize, you'll see it later. So actually there is a competitive multiplayer online. Also the game is for the PEGI 7. The game comes to the PC platform, Xbox SX, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and the others. The release was June 8. So MotoGP 23 marks a new era for Milestone's flagship racing and celebrates the return of the Italian raider to the top of the World Championship in the best possible way. In this November, Pecco Bagnaia finished the 9th in GP of the Valencian community. A placement at first sight modest, which however seals a crazy and enormous result. 7 points. Enough for Riccardo Tormo's circuit to first be tinged with the Ducati red and then ideally with the white and green, and hasn't happened since 2009, since Valentino Rossi's last title. A triumph that seemed to never come. It's not realistic because it doesn't coincide with the video game development time, but I like to think that the thing's victory, eagerly invented and full of pure motoring and enjoyment, has given Milestone the jolt to make a new leap in the quality for the most prestigious title in the lineup. Crowning a world of constant improvement, filling thousands fans, and finally stripping the previous capturing, breaking, putting everything he has on the track. And to release deeper than the others, you need the means, the physique, but above all the physics, which in 2023 is more refined, muscular, simulative, and profound. You don't hold the pain in your hand, you hold your struggle. The rear gives and takes away the grip like a pagan god with the dual sense that transmits all the power your racing car to the triggers, with the throttle to be managed by progressively opening out of the corners without letting the rear wheel spin, and the front brake to be listened carefully. The vibrations that warn up of possible and fatal lost grip, with the trigger that seems to empty loosens the stamina and bam, down to the earth. It's a moment, equally dangerous and essential to learn to manage its corner entry, a moment of maximum tension that must be faced with a composure, stability, and avoiding swaying like a boat at the mercy of the sea, but sinking the wheels into the asphalt as it were mollusks looking for a grip like a diver seeker's water. And when you really find water, you ride on X, checking every nerve ending to avoid rash moments that could make the bike run amok. It goes without saying the difference between a nice round curve with an analog tip and a lap in gravel. It's played the razor's edge on the sensation mentioned about, on the sensitivity and that controls and demanding simulation, capable to do something that is not all obvious, giving the player control of the rider and not of the bike. Throwing yourself into the sand and under arriving a full thrown from the Mugello Strait is a task courage that must necessarily be precocious, full of doubts to which an answer must be found in a fraction of a second. The bike is heavy, every corner has to be anticipated, the sensation of speed is powerful, and the reaction windows is limited, making the gameplay always tense, satisfying, and wondering turning why with active neural aids. Scalability managed in a very intelligent way by the developers, which intervenes on the key parameters such as braking, cornering, and acceleration. With the AI and turning into the play various levels depending on your preferences, deactivated, moderate, active, to help the player and make the experience more tailored based on your skill and mood. Problems managing the crease, the AI take care of finding the right angle. Trouble finding the right spot to pull the brakes when braking? The AI will start pulling them out for ya. It works well, useful, and it's prelude to general improvement to the AI, which of course also brings in the main dish, the competition, the shoulders, the paint stripping, the dates and receipts. Let's start with the problems. Often the opposing riders at any level of the difficulty are a bit kamikaze, a bit Marcus. They don't care if we went long and getting back on track or if we take off too early. They shoot straight, and it happens that they unceremoniously overwhelm the player, forcing a rewind unless and some natural insults to the culprit. It also happens to find riders who is qualifying heat up the tires in full trajectory, which can be quite annoying, present problems absolutely to be improved, not necessarily stressful because they are not mathematical and balanced by the spectacle that the EI guarantees in the race. When you see the pilots exchanging positions, risking a different trajectory, attacking us at the first stop, slapping into spaces crammed and avoiding little trains, and contributing to the tension that accompanies us checkered flag. Here two powers of the opponents can be scaled to the millimeter, thus avoiding escape frustration and keeping faith an idea of the simulation dedicated for everyone, where the pleasure of overtaking must be the master. Well, this also opens the window for the novelties and career mode, the engine of the experience, which revolves entirely around the concept of rivalry between the riders, influences as much by our attitude on the tracks as the paddock, styles as the MotoGP wall, a sort of exclusive social network for the pilots. After each race, they will post impressions, insinuations, compliments, and real accusations, to which they can respond in a peacefully or decidedly unpleasant way. The relationship with other rides will be determined the possibility of joining their teams at the end of the season, and above all the possibility of collaborating with those the same parent company on the development of the bike, consequently receiving more or less updates to work during the test. Although this narrative is most textual and parametric, it helps to create always stimulating context in view of the next race, where a statement that questions our way of driving will turn into a desire to beat the driver in a wave spectacular is possible, earning moreover extra points that contribute to growth and that strengthen our name in the circus. Starting as a follower, becoming the first guide, feeling desired by the top teams aiming for the title, while raging around that worthy of disagreements and alliances that is typically of motorcycling, intriguing and well presented in its simplicity. The MotoGP 23 also raises the technical level of the series and does so in all its aspects. From the vibrant colors to the dynamic weather that heavily affects the gameplay and ignites the beauty of the atmospheric events, with water clouds that rise in a very scientific way, with the hull becoming too shiny and highlight as polygonal modeling aiming to the photorealism. In fact, great care has been placed on the lighting and refractions, which give the game a decisively more elegant look, smoothing out those edges that were still present in previous editions. Perhaps, however, the fundamental aspects from the technical point of view is the quality of the animations, with the riders who react in realistic plastic-filled way, accompanying the movements of the bike with extreme naturalness, thus ennobling the control system with a fundamental visual feedback. Incredible. Work still needs to be done of the animations during the fall, rather unnatural, with the excessive dummy effect that transforms even the most harmless of the slides into a rather macabre show. The result is in any case not worth above all, it goes without saying. Played on PC and currently young consoles, with a guaranteed 60 FPS 4K smoothly, as it wears the thread mark. So shortly, the verdict, MotoGP 23 is the leap in quality that the Milestone series needed. We are not talking about the revolutions, it would be not realistic to think so, but about the consistent improvements in the all characters aspects of the title, the simulation world through an engaging career from high-profile technical sector to the physical and mental sensations of the race, where the AI exhibits new behaviors although some issues still persist. A level of racing, probably the best motorcycle simulation ever, and a pleasure for those who are used to sit down on the sofa. Thanks for watching. Well, actually, you know what to do. Bye. Peace.